foolish fantasy these days.
We need to end these divisions.
What a fool.
Red
believes.
versus blue. Rural versus herbal. I mean, marijuana. I mean, shit, I'm high as fuck.
Erlen.
Rural and urban. I mean, black and versus white versus. Where are my kids? Hunter. Well, I always want to give Joe Biden a southern accent. Like, I always drift into Bush whenever I do Biden.
Don't ask him about Bo. Don't bring it up.
He'll go on. Listen, you give what you get, or you get what you give.
Lead not by the example of our power, but the power of our example.
Listen, he came back somewhere back in her long ago. The sentimental fool don't see trying hard to recreate what had yet to been created once in her life. She musters a smile for his nostalgic tale, never coming near what he wanted to say, only to realize it never really was. She had a place in his life. He never made her think twice as he rises to her apology. Anybody else would surely know. He's watching her go. But
anybody else would surely know. Baby, we were born to run.
But what a fool believes he sees. No wise man has power to reason away. Okay, I'm done with that.
Oh, wait, what was that?
That was the lyrics to What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers.
Oh, I was going to say that, like, with the Joe Biden voice, it almost sounded like you'd be quoting Bruce Springsteen there.
Oh, no, Michael McDonald.
Yeah. What's up? This is the Heavy Load Podcast. I'm Dylan.
I'm David.
I'm Dan.
And we're here in 2021, January 24th. I was going to say 23rd. My fellow Americans, we got them.
The nation.
I'm a real American.
I'm going to miss Donnie's dance.
Oh, his little jig?
His
Little
dance?
jig, yeah. He not the best dancer amongst the presidents. As you guys would have known if you watched that link I sent you guys.
Sorry, I don't have time for that.
Bush has
I was too busy
most
replacing my
enthusiasm.
curtains.
I was too busy beating it.
I was too busy beating it to watching George Bush movies.
Yeah.
Glad you're honest, at least.
I only jerk off to George Bush.
Senior.
Senior. Jeb, all of them. Prescott.
You know, I'm more into the 70s porno, you know, with the Bushes, the entire Bush family.
George Bush's face over everyone's genitals, like the censor bar.
Oh, God.
I prefer 30s where there's like,
Off screen.
needling piano music in the background the entire time.
And it's all off screen.
Like a
those are
ragtime
the-
shuffle.
Okay, in other news, so normally when I'm in my truck, I just listen to like the local AM radio station, and there's a fire on the east side that unfortunately 2 people burned to death, but they had an interview with the fire chief, with the Detroit fire chief.
Oh, okay.
And just the way he described the scene, he was like, yeah, we got there. There was nothing we can do. They were just completely fried, totally burnt to a crisp. There was nothing we could do. Just fried like a delicious
Barbecued Texas style. No, that makes me. I wonder if someone else was going to die, but Peter Parker ran in there, picked him up, scooped him up, and slid out of there.
Yeah,
It was actually Peter Griffin. Shuffled in.
So you guys know that I deliver to a mall, and there's this one guy that works at the mall. He's like this older Asian guy, and I've never heard him say anything. He always walks really slow, and he has this really terrible perm mullet that always reminds me of
Of my hair.
yeah Rob Schneider. It's just like a super it goes straight up on top and then back, and it's all like permed and just very firm.
It's like a pompadour. Like a rockabilly thing?
No, it's all curls and it goes straight up and then straight back down. It's like
Kind of an L shape?
Yeah. It's like the worst mullet that I've ever seen.
Sort of like a Tetris block is what you're saying.
Yeah, sorta.
Okay.
And every time I see that guy, I just like silently laugh to myself. And he never says anything. Like every once in a while, I'll be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he just like kind of keeps walking very slowly because he doesn't move very fast. He's like a maintenance guy or a cleaning guy or something.
With hair that nice.
I know.
I was thinking earlier, speaking of like appearances, how like the three of us kind of, our looks are all like if you were, let's say you have a video game that has a character creator selection screen, except you only had 2 options for everything. So, okay, no hair or long hair. Wears a chain, doesn't wear a chain. Kind of wears jeans, wears no pants at all.
Well, I wear khakis sometimes.
Mustache.
I'm not wearing any pants right now.
Either full beard or mustache, nothing in between.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Wears a beanie, doesn't wear a beanie.
Well, actually, no. You have to wear a hat. None of us don't wear hats in public. It's kind of like Mr. Potato Head, but if we were all like stalks of corn, like Mr. Cornstalk. But anyway, I was thinking more like, okay, what would this game be like? It's one of those games where it's just like a very simple task, but it's pitched to be incredibly dramatic. Like, we all have to fill out our taxes, but we can't use the internet. So we all have to try to figure out how to, fill out your taxes correctly and then address an envelope correctly. Many things can go wrong along the way. I assume none of us know how to do that without the internet.
No, I use that, which leads us into today's sponsor, TurboTax. Tax done right.
Yes, thank you. Maybe I'm sure the check's in the mail for that one.
Oh yeah. Swish.
I'm actually on a side note. I have no idea what the fuck taxes are going to be like this year since I was laid off for a little while last year with the pandemic and whatnot.
Yeah, you probably owe the government back for all the money you collected.
Yeah, those bastards.
Anyway, it's kind of like an RPG style game, so there's lots of choices along the way. For instance, one of the bad ends, somehow you end up, when you're mailing the envelope, which is incorrectly addressed, and you don't even have a stamp on it, while you're putting it in the mail slot, you accidentally get one of your testicles caught in the mail slot, and it's severed and ends up being returned to you because you didn't address the envelope correctly.
I don't think I ever told you that story, Dan. How'd you figure that out?
It's a really good game. What else could happen? You could, I don't know, like you go to the store, buy guitar strings, and then get a taco.
Yeah, you could try to stop the closing of a video store.
It's kind of like that cartoon Regular Show, but nothing weird ever actually happens in the episode. You just have to go to the shed, you mow the lawn, nothing goes wrong.
You gotta go to the bank.
Actually, one of your testicles can get stuck in the lawnmower if you make a wrong choice.
That's the only really bad thing that happens is like, you have run out of testicles. Game over.
Good thing I got plenty to spare.
Yeah, you can get like some sort of goal. Like one of the goals you can get is you can get
Bonus balls.
For $50 you can get this skin that gives you 8 balls.
My skin already has 8 balls.
I feel insane sometimes because I swear to God, when I was a kid, I had 3 testicles.
Oh, I thought I had 4 balls when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty fucking sweet to have 3 balls.
Yeah, like a pyramid-shaped nutsack.
But somewhere along the way, I lost 2, so I don't know what's up with it.
Yeah, I lost 2 also, but I had 2 other ones in the sack, so the skin healed back up, and now I got 2 balls like everyone else.
You want to trade balls?
It's kind of like the ending of Goodfellas when Ray Liotta's sitting there talking to the camera about how he's just a regular Joe now. That's how I felt when I lost my extra 2 balls.
Imagine your scrotum. It looked kind of like one of those massage claws where it's like 4 plastic balls and then like a handle where you kind of move it up and down your back.
They also vibrate.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd probably make your
Yeah,
dick
well.
look really good because you got like 4 of them, so now it's just pressed. He's got like a really prominent bulge because it's like pressed against 4 balls.
All I need is one giant ball.
Yeah.
It's like a big meatball.
And then a pencil dick. It just looks great.
Have you guys ever seen the first Nardwar interview with Henry Rollins, where
so.
where Nardwar references Henry Rollins' soup can dick.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I've like spent a lot of time.
Absolutely.
I've spent a lot of my life trying to imagine what that would look like.
A soup can dick? Like, is it flat?
Is it like
is
stubby?
the end?
Like,
Is it okay? So it's got to be like a solid 3 inches in diameter, and then like 5 inches long, and then just flat at the end.
well, no, it's gotta have a dome. Well, I don't know.
If it's a soup can, if it's a perfect soup can, I always picture it as just a perfect soup can.
like ridges and everything. Like when you get like
Yeah,
a
it's
cranberry
ribbed.
sauce out of the can,
Its steak is naturally ribbed.
it's shaped like the inside of the can.
I wonder if that'll ever happen. Where like the next step of human evolution is just naturally ribbed dicks.
Mm. I mean, you can get piercings. That's why people get piercings. Right?
Yeah, no, piercings are for.
You're
You
Not
want
for
piercings
me.
to become part of nature. You want them to fuse. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't want a piercing.
Prince Albert.
No. Well, I want to get like a tongue piercing, but on my dick. Is that what Prince Albert is?
Uh,
So you want like
Yeah.
a big hoop that connects your tongue to your
Yeah.
penis. Okay.
Yeah. So when I like do this move, my dick starts flopping up and down. Not that I do that move anyway.
yeah, and for those people who are new listeners and don't know, Dan actually has a Prince Andrew.
Mm-hmm. I refuse to explain what that is.
Just read the news.
Mm-hmm. No sweat at all.
Did you guys eat McDonald's a lot as a kid?
Kinda.
Yeah, as a kid, I quit eating McDonald's about like 7 or 8 years ago.
I haven't gone there in a long time because nothing they have is vegetarian. Not even the French fries.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's
Me, on the
delicious.
other- yeah, it's delicious. Me, on the other hand, I eat McDonald's. Well, I won't say how often I eat McDonald's. But did I ever tell you guys a story about when how often I got in trouble at McDonald's? Like, not working there,
Right.
but just going there.
Oh, before you worked there.
Yeah.
No.
Did I tell you guys a story about the time I was waiting in line at McDonald's and there was a kid's. We were at the counter and there was another cashier at the next right next to the cashier, and there was a kid there with his mom. I was there with my mom. I was like probably 4, so this was like 99, 2000. I look over at the kid and he's just staring at me, and he looks like. In my head, I registered, holy shit, this is the kid from Stuart Little. He had like the glasses and the blonde haircut. And my first initial thing, because it was awkward. He was just staring at me.
It's also the kid from Jerry Maguire, right?
I haven't seen that.
Not that it
movie.
matters. Okay,
He's
whatever.
in that Little Vampire movie too.
I was about to say Little
Little
Vampires.
Vampire. That movie scared me as a kid.
I loved that movie.
So anyway,
I was afraid of goth people, so that movie really scared me.
That's all I wanted to be. I would walk by Hot Topic and my mom would rush me past like, hurry on, come on.
Yeah, that was a scary store back in the day.
Yeah, I used to you get my little dick hard by Hot Topic.
Yeah, see all the goth ladies in there. So the kid's staring at me, so my instinct is to say, hey, nice glasses. But I thought it would, for some reason, just exaggerate to sound like, nice glasses. And then the mom yelled at me, but in my head I hadn't registered that I said it sarcastically. And then my mom started yelling at me. We didn't get McDonald's. She took me out of the store and then told me I couldn't go see Flintstones Go to Vegas.
Oh fuck.
Viva Rock Vegas.
Yeah. Viva Rock. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't see it, so that's why I wouldn't know the title.
Mm.
I didn't see it on the big screen.
You still never seen it?
No. I've seen the first one.
It's a goddamn tragedy.
Yeah, well, you
Mm.
can blame that Stuart Little looking fuck.
He probably got to see.
He probably just wanted the theater all to himself. He was going around all day just getting the other kids in trouble, staring at him like a fucking creep.
Mhm.
Anyway.
I had 2 things from that. One, I had this very vivid memory of being in McDonald's. I was probably like 11 or 12. Me and all my friends would go walk to McDonald's after school, and I don't think anybody dared me. But I just did one of those like dare myself. So like, hey, do you guys dare me to do this? And I was like, hey, you guys dare me to do a shot of this ketchup in those little
Yeah.
white paper cups? I did and threw up. It was so disgusting.
Yeah, I'm really. I feel like I could puke just hearing that.
it was disgusting. But then speaking of movies, as a kid, fucking shit up. the night before I got my 2 front teeth knocked out, which I have a false front tooth now. Teeth are all still fucked up from it. The night before, my mom took me to see the Simpsons movie, and and it was a late night showing, and I really didn't want to go to baseball practice the next morning, which is where I got my teeth knocked out. I really didn't want to do it. She made me go anyway.
Wait, what, did you get hit in the face with a baseball?
Yeah, I was pitching, and I threw a
Well,
line.
you really messed up.
Huh?
It was like you glued the baseball to your hand and you did like the swing around thing. And
Yeah, so I was pitching, and the first 2 pitches really sucked, and the third one was great. And like it was like the fattest, like heaviest hitter kid. He really couldn't hit the ball like at all. He just swung really freaking hard, and yeah, just came back and hit me straight back in the face.
Jesus.
Did you see him?
Huh? No, we were like 9.
Oh, that doesn't stop. That wouldn't stop me.
So what direction did your teeth like go in the back of your mouth?
No, they came out of my mouth.
So they like came clean out.
Yeah. So my front left tooth got knocked completely out by the root of the tooth, which connects up to the bone. Then my front right one was just kind of dangling, and it took me to the hospital. And the one that came out completely by the root, as soon as I got to the hospital, they were like, okay, the mouth is one of the fastest healing parts of the body.
Right.
We got to put this back in now. So with no anesthetic or anything, they shoved my fucking tooth back up into my mouth.
Jesus.
Yeah, that really
I've always
hurt.
heard the fast healing thing like you use to your advantage. It's like, well, don't worry, it'll be better soon. And it's like, actually, the time is working against us. We need to shove this back in as fast as possible.
Yeah, before my gums closed back up. And then they'd have to cut them back open. But then they ended up having to take it out like multiple times and put it back in to like put some medicine on it.
Okay.
I had another McDonald's story at the same McDonald's.
You're full of them.
I'm full of them.
Over 1 billion stories told.
Yeah. So,
Real quick, I got another McDonald's story. This one time, I don't know, I was probably in like 7th grade or something. I'd started, no, I think it was 8th grade. I started dating this girl. I think we only dated for like 2 weeks.
it was the girl McDonald's mascot. Like one of the you know what I'm talking about? The one
It's like the duck.
Hamburger.
a duck. Yeah. It's like a duck with pigtails.
I remember her name.
Yeah, Grimace.
But I was dating this girl, and we were just necking in a booth at McDonald's, and that was like one of the, I think, no, that wasn't the first time, but that was one of the first times I actually made out with a girl. I jizzed my pants a little bit.
Hell yeah. Well, who hasn't done that? I do that just eating McDonald's.
I was like 12.
Oh, yeah,
This
I was
is awesome.
Yeah, I had the same reaction the first time I tried a Big Mac.
I used to watch the heck out of those McDonald's VHS tapes. Did you guys ever watch those? They're like cartoons animated for McDonald's
No.
with like the characters Grimace and Hamburglar.
No, I like to keep it a mystery what their
I remember they're like trapped in a maze and they need to get out. I don't know. There wasn't really much going on with those. It was probably just something they gave free to all the kids.
Not me. I never got that. I just got the shitty toys. I mean, the awesome toys. Well, I got this one story though that I've never told, but I think about a lot. You guys know the McDonald's Monopoly?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, one time, this was in the early 2000s by now, my mom, this is the first time I'd ever heard of it. My mom came out, she's like, hey, I want a free cheeseburger at McDonald's. You want to go get one? And I was like, absolutely, let's go there right now. Because in my head, I was like, oh, there's a free cheeseburger waiting for us at McDonald's. We got to go get it before someone comes and snags it up.
Oh,
So we get there, and there's a long line, which made my anxiety as a child way worse. So my mom was like, why don't you go play in the tubes? Because they had the tubes. So I go in there, and there's another kid there. You know, when you're a kid, you make friends really fast, just immediately. So we're racing around in the tubes.
Speak for yourself.
Setting up bases in the tubes, and eventually playing Star Wars. And suddenly I noticed there was like a little bit of burger in the corner of the kid's mouth. And I started to get really irrational and suddenly accused this kid that he ate my cheeseburger. And I like grabbed him by the collar, like, you ate my cheeseburger? You ate my cheeseburger? And the kid ran away to these two grandma-looking women who then followed him back to the tubes to yell at me. And my mom had finally gotten our food, and then came to discover me crying. I'm being yelled at by 2 women and then another kid crying. And I didn't really understand why I was the bad guy. Since he ate my cheeseburger, it was like a weird justice reversal on me. And then my mom was yelling at me, like, he ate our cheeseburger.
You were a weird fucking kid.
Yeah, have you ever not had a disastrous trip to McDonald's with your mom?
No. No. And then
Wait, is this before or after the Stuart Little kid?
this is after the Stuart Little kid.
So you're...
Mean the kids.
Yeah, this is probably a year later, and I was like, okay, I think it's finally time. David can finally handle McDonald's again.
I don't know how I made friends so easy as a kid because I was. I also.
It sounds like you didn't.
No.
It sounds like sounds like you harassed a bunch of other kids and said that they were your friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
David, you make friends accidentally more often than anyone I've ever met.
Yeah, I do.
Just by virtue of you just stand there and people start talking to you, and then
Well, like we talked
5
about,
minutes later, you're exchanging phone numbers.
well, like we talked about last week, we became friends because you'd buy me cigarettes underage.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
That's a pretty solid reason.
You're the guy that stands out in front, like, "Hey, you kids need some cigarettes? Need some booze?"
Well, no, only if you're cool. Yeah, that's the catch. Well, I remember also as a story of a kid. Story from when I was a kid that we went to a concert of some sort at the band shell in Lincoln Park. This like big outdoor concert thing with like a concrete dance floor in front of it. And I remember running around the concert floor with my arms out like this, and I ended up pushing a kid down.
What do you call that move?
I don't know. I thought it was fun though, and then I was
The
immediately
bulldozer.
mad and he started crying.
You were
Oh.
that was like the proto wall of death for you.
Then 16 years later, I got fired from the exact same McDonald's for licking mac sauce off my glove.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was the
I
coup de
forgot
grace.
that's why you got fired.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sauce looking.
And you were telling me that after that, like they really cracked down, like they took away everything fun from your McDonald's because of you.
Yeah, but I was gone, so I didn't really care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I could-
Excessive sauce licking.
Yeah.
Reason for termination.
Were you wearing a glove?
Yep.
And also, okay.
Looked it right off the glove.
Did you guys have like a gun in the store, but not for shooting people, for like dispensing sauces?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Wish I had one of those.
It had a really cool like recoil, like felt powerful.
Like a
I remember one of my coworkers shooting it, and then he'd always make a sound afterwards. Yeah, I miss those guns. If I were a little kid and I had those guns, I would have shot so many kids with ketchup right in the fucking face.
Wait, what was like the power on these ketchup guns? I've never worked in like fast food.
I don't know if the ketchup had a gun, but there was tartar sauce gun, a mac sauce gun,
A Mac gun.
and a mayo gun. Pretty powerful. I mean, it was like a big ass. It was like the size of a caulking gun.
Right,
So
that's kind of what I
imagine-
imagined, but
yeah.
it's electronically powered.
I don't think so.
Oh no, it's like spring loaded.
Yeah, spring loaded.
Okay.
Double barrel.
Yeah, double barrel.
We're all very
12 gauge.
we're all very into sauce guns here, just not regular ones.
I'm really into sauce.
Do
Sauce.
you think you
is
could walk
kinda-
into a gun and ammo store and be like, "Hey, can I get one of those sauce guns?" Or like a super soaker?
Yeah, I'm looking to sauce them up down at the McDonald's
It-
playscape.
What would happen if you filled the super soaker with ketchup? Would it?
I feel like
You'd pump it like 50 times to get the pressure real high, and then what? Like probably cracks and explodes.
Yeah, I feel like the hole is not big enough to get as thick a substance as ketchup out. Piss, on the other hand,
Sure, of
you
course.
piss.
Piping hot.
Some vinegar.
David, piping hot, super soaker.
Oh, yeah, my brother did that to me one time, actually. He loaded a super soaker with piping hot water and hosed me down with it.
Oh, damn. You should have boiled it first.
Yeah, that was, I didn't like it at the time, but looking back, it's very funny. I think he might have been like 9 years older than me at the time.
Wait, so how old was he?
I was 5. 14?
Okay, that's a pretty solid, like, but okay, wait, you were, that's kind of cruel. Like, that'd be like one thing for like one 14-year-old to do to like,
Another 14-year-old?
yeah, but to do to like your kindergarten little brother was a little cruel.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah. You do it to him now.
Yeah, that'd be really funny.
But yeah, this time boil water and just shoot it at it and give him just burn his
I
flesh.
don't want to do that. Eye
Yeah.
for an eye, piping hot.
Yeah, get him back.
No
in.
higher gauge than that.
There was one time where I was like, I don't know how old I was. I must have been like 9 or 10, and I like maybe like 1 weekend a month or so, on like a Saturday night, I would go over to my aunt's house. And we would watch like horror movies all night. That would be our thing. And my cousins, well, they're probably about 8 or 9 years older than me. I had 2 older cousins that are twins, and so they were in high school because they were driving, and it was winter, and I was going with them. We were going to Blockbuster to pick out what horror movies we were going to watch that night. And there's this big field at the end of their block, and we get to the end of the field, and it just snowed. Like, there's a shit ton of snow in this field, and they're like, Dylan, come on, get out, we're gonna build a snowman. I was like, oh, okay. And so they got me out, walked me like 20 feet out into the field, pushed me over and started throwing snow on top of me, then ran back to the car and waited for me to get back.
Damn.
And I was so upset. I cried the whole way back, and then I got back to my aunt's house, and I was like, they threw me down in the snow and buried me. And she was like, well, what'd you do to deserve it? I was like, I didn't do anything.
Nice. Pulled out the old he was asking for it.
Yeah. What were you wearing? Did you see what?
Spider-Man shirt? Yeah, you had it.
Yeah, kid. Yeah, so there's something I wanted to talk about last week
Is
that
it the Dead
I
Kennedys thing?
What?
Is it the Dead Kennedys thing?
Yeah, it is the Dead Kennedys thing.
You were really upset that you forgot to talk about that.
Yeah, because that was like the one thing that I wanted to talk about beforehand that I didn't. So after the storming of the Capitol, there was a some backlash against the band Dead Kennedys. I don't know. Have you guys ever seen their Twitter page? They're just like real like boomer like libs. Like so it all started after they had posted they quote tweeted like Mitt Romney, and were like this is the unity and leadership that we need. The Dead Kennedys official Twitter.
Well, Jello's not there anymore. I feel
Yeah,
like Jello is,
yeah.
is the real integrity of the band.
Yeah. Jello has been memeing them hard on his own social media pages, which is also great. But
Who's even in Dead Kennedys anymore?
Well, the rest of the guys.
yeah, it's the three other members: East Bay Ray, Klaus Fluoride, and DH Peligro.
So it's all the original members except for Jello?
Yeah, and their new singer is this guy. His name's like Skip McSkippy. Is something really lame.
It's actually Chris Pratt.
It's Pete Davidson.
But so Dead Kennedys, and they always reply to everybody that tweets at them.
Nice.
Because they just they're kind of like the Trump of okay, they're not that bad. I would say probably Johnny Rotten is the Trump of punk. He's a real piece of shit. But as far as Twitter goes, like the Dead Kennedys are still kind of trying to work it out and figure out that you don't need to respond to everybody that makes fun of you on the website.
Just awake at 4 a.m. pulling their hair out. Like, why won't they stop?
And yeah, so
I'm calling the police about online harassment.
so I saw all this Dead Kennedys drama going on Twitter, and people memeing them really hard.
Oh, it would be really funny though if the Dead Kennedys threatened to call the police for online harassment.
And then I remembered that I can DM them because we follow each other. Back in like 2014 or 15, whenever the Dead Kennedy, or no, it was probably 13 or 14, whenever they first made their Twitter, I was in high school, and I was like just hitting my punk phase. I followed the Dead Kennedys like as soon as they made their Twitter account, and like tweeted something at them. I was like, "You guys are my favorite punk band of all time," and of course they responded. They're like, "Oh, thank you. Like this is like probably the coolest tweet we've gotten so far," and they gave me a follow, and we've been following each other ever
I
since.
thought that was the coolest tweet. All right. Anyway.
I don't know. No, like I went off on like how much they meant to me personally at the
Forgot
time.
punctuation. It's just like no punctuation, all
You
caps.
You guys changed my life. But well,
You all good. Government flu. Police strike songs.
But so I remember I was like, okay, I can DM them and try to talk to some sense into whoever runs their Twitter account.
But their social media presence, I feel like, has been kind of ass for a long time. Like their Facebook is just like generic punk memes.
That's exactly how their Twitter is.
Like it's that picture of the guy and like all studded everything, like hanging out with the kid or whatever.
Yeah, that is what their what their Twitter profile pic is.
Which, by the way, you see that pic all the time. Is like who says there's a certain uniform a good role model has to follow. But what no one knows about that picture is that punk guy abducted that kid immediately after.
Yeah.
No one's seen him since.
So I DM'd the Dead Kennedys. I said, "Hey guys, I appreciate you still being politically outspoken and standing up for your views, but backing Reaganite politicians like Romney and Lincoln Project." Oh yeah, they also retweeted the Lincoln Project. Is not the way forward. I say this with all due respect, because your music introduced me to the importance of being socially and politically active. And then I said,
And he said, "Yeah."
no. Then I went on. I agree that a conservative like Romney is preferred to Trump, but that ain't it, Chief. That's not what I said. Quote, but
You said that ain't it, sis.
and then they responded moments later. "Thanks for your message. We were really just trying to promote humanity and science." I was like, okay. And then to promote conversations. Okay. And then they went on, "I don't any other current punk bands trying to do anything. DK is the first political band ever."
What the hell? Is that a separate message?
Yeah, all four of these were all separate messages.
So it's like all four members of the band.
Yeah, they all chimed in.
The first political ever.
DK is the first political band ever.
We should try to get Jello as an admin for that Twitter. Try to help him out.
Yeah, and then the typo, and "I don't any other current punk bands trying to do anything."
In fact, I think we should try to get Jello as the first guest.
Yeah.
Get him to also bash Kennedy's Twitter.
And so after they said, "DK is the first political band ever," I said, "That's awesome." I said, yeah, I said, "That's awesome. I agree more working class people, average Americans, need to unite, but just be careful what leaders we choose to promote. Even the more moderate Republicans today are the same leaders that got us into Iraq and imposed trickle-down economics." And they said, "Sadly, there's too much to process."
You're hurting my head, man. I don't want to think about this.
"Sadly, there's too much to process. For now, it's about what is the lesser of two evils. And right now, it's at full shit show with Trump. But we don't have to choose between Trump and Romney or Trump and the Lincoln Project." Like, oh my God.
That really hurts.
Fucking boomers. Fucking boomers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably. Well, they're still probably one of my favorite bands of the '80s, but.
Oh yeah, Dead Kennedys are like my favorite. Like Dead Kennedys and The Clash are like probably my two favorite punk bands.
I'd go with Dead Kennedys and Black Flag.
Yeah, Black Flag too.
You gotta admit though, before Dead Kennedys, music was all about wop bopaloo wop wop bamboo.
Yeah, all the way up until the '80s. That was Bob Dylan. That's why people love Bob Dylan so much and gave him like Nobel prizes because he came out there like, "Baby, baby, yeah." Like a Rolling Stone, baby, baby, yeah.
Jeez. But season 2 was great. Loved. I liked season 2 a lot more than season 1.
That's with Richie Aprile, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, okay, full Sopranos spoilers for those of you who haven't watched Sopranos. But yeah, I was actually just hanging out with David the other day, and I was talking about Richie. I was only like about halfway through season 2. I was like, damn, like Richie, like that something's gonna go down there. But I was not expecting the way that he died.
Yeah,
It
oh,
just-
yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, Jan just fucking shoots him.
Blasts him.
I hate Jan. She
Yeah.
is so fucking annoying.
You know, like I've kind of felt
This-
that way.
This guy. Crazy.
I'm just saying, I've watched the series twice now. I don't know. I found more value in every character, like who I kind of hated the first time through. Like even Janice, I don't know. There's like a Janice in every family, more or less.
Yeah,
And like I kind of get why she is the way she is. It's just kind of unfortunate. She expects her brother to clean up after all of her problems.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, you know, she takes care of business herself every now and then, as we know.
Yeah.
And it just so happened to work out for Tony too. He's
Yeah, what
like,
was
cool, I don't have to
Richie-
deal with this problem.
What was Richie doing to Tony again?
he was planning to kill him.
Yeah.
He was trying to get Uncle Drew on his side for a coup on Tony and put Junior back as boss or himself as boss.
We're gonna have an insurrection at the Bada Bing.
Maybe we just turn this podcast into Talking Sopranos Midwest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We can get Michael Imperioli and Bob Sharifa on it.
We can talk about all the
Mm,
Sopranos
exactly.
memes and how Sopranos means a lot to Zoomers, and because you know it deals with depression. And
Deals
I
with
don't-
depression. It's post 9/11.
I was
Kinda.
I was reading an article how Zoomers really connect with Sopranos for whatever reason.
Yeah, there are a lot of Sopranos memes on Twitter. There's one Twitter page that I don't even follow. It just pops up in my feed a lot. It's like Sopranos screenshots out of context.
Yeah, I like that one.
Mhm.
That's
That's a
a real
good
good one. I like that. What's that guy's name? Furios.
Furio.
Yeah.
Furio's fucking sweet.
Yeah, he rocks. You just wait. Just wait.
He's American. That guy's not even Italian. The actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's doing an accent. I watched like some behind the scenes stuff. Just sounds very normal. He also doesn't keep his hair in a little ponytail like that all the time. Unfortunately,
That's-
He keeps it in
so damn-
pigtails.
kind of bummed to
actually.
find that out. Yeah.
If I had that much hair, it would just always be. Yeah. Actually, oh
Didn't
well.
say that in
Well, probably not nowadays, but I don't know. I feel like man ponytails and like man buns have been severely oversaturated the past few years. I feel like it's probably not as cool.
No, but I mean, me, Dylan and I could do the samurai ponytail knot though.
Yeah, I got plenty of hair on the back of my hair on the back of my head is so thick.
Mm-hmm.
I could do none of that. Now I feel
You
excluded.
can do whatever you want. You got hair for days, my dude.
Yeah,
That's true.
You can do like the Steven Seagal,
Yeah.
just oily black hair.
I'm gonna get plastic surgery to look like Steven Seagal.
Why not?
Huh?
You guys know about the Japanese actor Joe Shishido who like had plastic surgery to look more like a squirrel or
Oh.
a chipmunk?
No.
He's in all these like
Trying to get an Alvin and
Japanese
Chipmunks.
like 60s noir movies. Like there was one company in Japan called Nikatsu.
Is he in anything I would have seen?
No, they produced like 100 movies in a span of 5 years. And this guy was in a lot of them, but he wanted to look exactly like as much like a squirrel as he could. He was sort of like a James Bond type guy, but his cheeks are very like pronounced, and he had plastic surgery to like puff them out a little more, so it looks like his cheeks always have stuff in them.
He's just got nuts in his mouth. Is
Kinda,
what it
yeah.
Look like.
Yeah, like he's storing for winter or whatever. Some of those are kind of dope. A lot of them are kind of boring. Most of them have titles in English like Detective 2-3 Go to Hell Bastard or something like that.
Is that a good one?
That one was just okay. Or like Take Aim at the Police Van. Something
Oh,
like
that's
that.
a cool name.
That's
That
who I
sounds
knew
like an
back-
unreleased Dead Kennedy song
Yeah.
that they'll never release now.
I watched one called Branded to Kill, which is probably it was one of the more stylish of the. I don't know. Criterion put it out, like on its own. It's like not that interesting, but the main character, the only way he can get sexually aroused is if he smells, like rice cooking.
What movie is that?
Branded to Kill. Some with like the butterflies and stuff on the cover.
That's Cheaper by the Dozen.
Oh, yeah, that's the American
that
title.
One, and Cheaper by the Dozen, Steve Martin can only get sexually aroused if there's a gun pressed to his back.
Only if there are a dozen kids in the room.
Yeah, that too. Watching him get
Any
threatened.
more, any less. No, sorry.
The kid's got to be there. The gun's got to be out. Blindfold's got to be on.
All the kids have guns pointed at
They
him.
had
All
a
right.
circle formation.
Now I can get to business. But he puts up like a privacy curtain, so he's like, kids don't look.
Yeah, but
Just stay there.
the person with the gun to his back is dressed like Colonel Sanders too.
It's himself dressed as Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just, Steve Martin would be a good Colonel Sanders if they ever decided to
yeah.
make a movie out of Colonel Sanders.
I
I'm
wouldn't
really
put it
meaning to
past
watch
him.
The Jerk. A little bit before Trump got out, I was imagining him leaving office like The Jerk leaving his house.
Oh yeah, he kind of did.
Yeah, like I don't need anything except for, well, I don't know anything in the White House except for
My Diet Pepsi button.
this picture of JFK.
My Diet Pepsi button, and that's all I need. And this Lincoln statue. This Lincoln statue and this Pepsi button. That's all I need.
Wait, was it really a Diet Pepsi button?
That's what I'm
it's
hearing.
What I heard. Yeah.
That's what I like to
That's
believe.
what my sources tell me.
Diet Pepsi is the worst Diet Cola.
Well, I thought it was Diet Coke. I don't
Oh,
think it's
maybe.
Diet Pepsi.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, Diet Cola. I was
Diet
gonna,
Pepsi's more of a Patrick Bateman move.
yeah, I was gonna say if Trump had a Diet Pepsi button, I would really have regretted voting for him.
Yeah,
Diet
I'm a
Coke
one,
is my man.
Rest assured.
We're all one issue voters. What the president drinks.
Yeah. What kind of Diet Cola the president drinks?
Joe Biden, he probably drinks like
Diet RC.
like castor oil or something. Like he wakes up and his wife has like a spoon. She's like, "Open up, Joe."
His wife, you mean Dr. Jill?
My bad. My bad, y'all.
You will put some respect on it.
Doctor wife.
Doctor, my wife.
Dr. My wife. This is Dr.
I hope.
This is my wife, Dr. Joe, Dr. Jill, Dr.
He does. This
Love,
Yeah.
Dr. Feel Good.
Whatever happens, we can't allow Joe Biden to see Borat. His
This
brain
is
won't
my
be able to
wife,
handle
Doctor No.
Oh, speaking of which, I don't know if you saw over here, David. I got where is it?
The James Bond films.
Yeah, I have all of the James Bond films up through Quantum of Solace
Hey, what's that?
Yeah.
I got a quandary for you guys.
it. Is it about James Bond?
and Skyfall.
It's related to James Bond.
Okay.
So you know the Sean Connery quote about striking your woman.
Sure.
Okay. Well, you guys know how you guys. I didn't get a senior quote, but you know how you could get senior quotes
Yes.
for $1.2 billion. Would you put Sean Connery's quote about striking your woman as your senior quote?
Yeah.
I have to pay it. I have
Oh.
to pay 1.2 billion. Because I definitely would.
Spend your whole life recouping the cost.
So everyone looks at your picture in the yearbook like it says, when your woman won't just settle on the last word, it is perfectly okay to strike. You pay that much money for that?
You're wasting away the rest of your life in debtor's prison. They're like, "What are you in for?" It's like, "Hey, check this out." You show him a copy of your yearbook.
Dude, that's epic.
No, my senior quote, I quoted Blade Runner.
Okay. Enhance.
Yeah. Enhance. No, I quoted Roy's speech at the end. It's actually pretty sad if you read it out of context. I think I just quoted the line, "All these moments will be lost like tears in the rain."
Yeah, that's a good quote.
Yeah, but just reading that in a senior yearbook,
With you
like
smiling like,
like somebody else flipping through the yearbook like 20 years from now, like they just see that quote and get super depressed. I have no
Yeah.
idea what it's from.
well, and it's like specifically someone whose life fell apart after high school, and they've had like this to hell week, and they just like let me go back to a time that was better. And they picked that yearbook off and they land on your picture. And then they decided to jump out the top of the building.
Time to die.
they finished the quote. They shut the book.
Yeah, you could have like your photo in the yearbook be lenticular, so that if you look at it at one angle, you're there, and then like do the, move the page, and then you disappear.
Yeah.
Just kind of fade into.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we could probably wrap this one up. So.
All right, stay fucked, heavy load nation.
The nation. A domination.
We need to end this division between heavy and load.
Hefty load.
Heifer
Hey,
and loud.
you can't use that word.